Is that?
I don't know.
It's £5, isn't it?
Oh, it's something like that, yeah.
Okay, on the table now.
Handshake. Oh, right, on the table. Mine's in my bag. I'm not sure I'm going to be able to get it without making a noise. But in all seriousness, this is a massive fight for the European title. Danny Garozzo has won this competition once. He's going for the double. And Tommaso Marini, well, he's broken through this season. He's won his first World Cup, his first Grand Prix, and he's here for his first major title. I'd say the wind was in him, but he's up against, as you called him, Richard, an absolute legend. But shades of Cassara, and here the new modern form of fencing. He started that wave for me of the new style of fencing, Danny Garozzo.
Yeah, absolutely. A very unique style, and a lot of people have copied him since winning in Rio. But you know what, Bash? I think in this match, I get the feeling Marini's direct lunges are not going to go through. That's a hunch I've got. I think Garozzo can control the distance too well. He's watertight in defence, and I just don't see those one-light attacks coming through like he's been doing for the rest of the day, like against Chastene.
Okay, no, I can hear that, but I think Tommaso Marini has shown me today that there's a reason why he's done so well. There's a reason why he's broken through. When he's had tough moments today, especially up against left-handers, he's found a way around. But we're going to find out.
Well, it's a good job Garozzo's a right-hander, eh?
Well, it is, but I think it's going to be, that makes it a little bit easier for Marini. In all seriousness, I do, and I have managed to get hold of my wallet, and we should do a little photograph at the end. But the gold medal match is underway here in the men's
counter
foil.
pair riposte. Of course, I should point out that Karim Bashir and I are completely impartial and neutral, even though the money's on the table.
Yeah, we are impartial, but you've still got to have a gut, and you're here as the expert to tell us what you think, and it is important that...
Now, obviously he's got through.
On the first one.
Yeah, you watch. Danny Garozzo will figure it out. He'll get his distance right. But it is a very long arm, isn't it?
It's incredible.
It's a bit like Miles Chamley-Watson, that really long arm. And he hits you at a range you just don't believe you could be hit from.
Fajani from Tunisia taking control of this match. One apiece in the men's foil final. Right at the beginning, 13 seconds. I mean, the one thing we can be sure is that this is going to be a short, fast, explosive fight.
Yes, I imagine so. Yeah, look at that lovely pressing attack. Do you think it's going to go past the first period?
It might well do, but only just, I think.
Not much further than that. Look at that pressing attack. Perfect control. Have these two fenced many times, Bash? What do you think?
Well, I'm sure they've fenced plenty of times.
Yeah, I'm sure they've fenced numerous times in Italy. Paripost 3-1, and Garozzo goes to an early lead. Look at that, just waiting for the moment. Oh, you see, he can control that distance so well. It's a real talent that Garozzo has. Just presses out of range, then he decides when he goes in. Oh, and that was the attack by Garozzo, but was that a bounce out? What do you think?
Well,
looks like his blade doubled, but...
Yeah, and that does happen to him quite a lot, actually.
Look at this, I'm convinced he hit. But maybe with the edge of the blade.
Flat,
yeah, that's right.
Flat, as it's called. These two have never met in senior competition.
So this is the first.
But he's only been around for 1 year, really.
Yeah,
at
that's
the
right.
top level.
That's the attack from the left.
So Garozzo's clearly come out and said, right, I'm going after him. I'm not going to let him build up a head of steam. Garozzo trying to take it to Marini here. And, stunned him a little bit in the early stages.
Lovely parry riposte. Now, obviously, we don't know the in-house politics here, whether they fenced in Italian championships, and obviously others would have the lowdown on that.
Yeah, I mean, domestically, they must have fought a million times, and I think in training as well, pre-competition, they would have trained with each other in the build-up to this. For sure, they'll know each other.
It's a very interesting matchup of styles, that's for sure. That's the attack from the left. You see, he went for the blade, did Garozzo, didn't get anything. but because he's pressing forwards, I think the referees would still give that as an attack. And it was one light anyway. Oh, Bash.
Attack off target for me. Goes looking for the blade again. You?
Oh, you would say that, wouldn't you? I think Paraposta shoulder.
Well, let's see. Does he get the blade?
Oh, of course he got the blade.
They're having a look at the video here. I'm not totally
He nicked
convinced.
the blade
well,
in the top third.
You're the expert. Let's see. I'm not going to put any more money on this one.
You can double up, Bash.
Well, I saw a little signal from Mohammed Fajani saying there were 2 meetings of the blade. We patiently wait for the referee to come back. And Richard Cruz, as always, is correct.
Well, there we go. Not as always, Bash, but sometimes. I have my moments.
Interesting, called an attack off target there.
Look, there's Mess Hyaskoff in the corner. The Danish arm judge for this match.
Change of weapon for Tommaso Marini. Do you think this is as much about resetting?
Yeah, slight pattern break, slight reset.
No coaches in sight, at least, around the box. These two are being left to it. Countrymen going up against each other for the 2022 European Championship gold medal. Oh,
there, the attack goes through. See, Garozzo tried to go for that C-split to shoulder, but he was just beaten to the punch by Marini there. Direct lunge.
So Marini trying to press a little bit more now, trying to take the fight away from his half of the piece. Garozzo intent on trying to push Marini. Parapost is no, so the continuation of the attack, and Garozzo making an appeal there. There's the missed riposte and a continuation, really, a remise of the attack. From the right-hand side, that was. So Tommaso Marini back within 4. There's no sign of it slowing down
No,
either.
look, just over a minute of fencing time gone. It's already 8-4. Oh, and a stop hit on Marini by Garozzo. Who would have thought?
And trying the circular C flick as well.
It just shows you it's a lot about timing and distance. It's not just about the length of your arm. It's also about the distance.
Well, maybe there was an additional movement there in the Marini riposte. There's another attack direct into the body. He had the circular C flick that would have normally gone over the top.
Just
and
held on to it
a
little bit too long. And again, that direct lunge, it's a killer blow.
Garozzo teasing, looking for that parapost.
Oh,
gets a counter
now,
riposte.
did the referee say halt?
Card coming out here. Card coming
Now,
out
if I
here.
were Danny Garozzo, I would plead my case here because I think he started his riposte. Even though the referee said halt, he still had the right to continue.
But he's called for the
Core. Well, then that changes things.
Yeah, he's called the halt early on, but they are being asked to go and have a look at the video. Now that you've seen that in slow motion, Rich, what you think it was core before the hit scored? What about the head going down just before that?
Maybe there was a little bit of body contact, but I don't think there was anything malicious. I think I would have let that go. But the card stands. Covering.
So we don't see the back arm of Danny Garozzo. He's a right-hander, and we're looking across. So it's the backhand coming across the target area, and that means that the non-valid part of the jacket, the white part of the jacket, covers where an athlete should be able to land a valid hit. Hence the yellow card. Good spot. Pajani. I think it might have been that Danish side judge that called it.
That's a parapost there from the left. Now, is he complaining about the duck from Marini? Did the head just dip? And yes, it did. And Pajani brings out another yellow card.
Cards coming out all over the place in quick succession. 2 yellows, 1 for each of them. Now another infringement from either and means a point for their opponent. Just started to build up into a little bit of needle here as well. It's got a little bit scrappy, which you can expect from 2 athletes from the same country.
Yeah, it's never pleasant, is it, fencing someone else from your same country?
Oh,
look at that.
That's a cracker. That's
Lovely stop hit. Yeah, just stole the hit there from GAROZZO.
Didn't have the right of way. Just quickly in with the stop hit and then out of the way, and GAROZZO knew he was done. Circulacy's not working for him at the moment, is it, for Marini?
No, and what's he contesting here? Not happy about something, but I can't quite spot what he's contesting.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, obviously, Mohamed Fajani has explained it well enough for him to accept it, but yeah, I didn't see anything in particular there. 9-6 GAROZZO, target score of 15 here, and we're only halfway through the first period of potentially 3.
Oh, now that's wonderful work at close quarters there.
From a big man.
From a big man, yeah. Just shows you've got to keep fighting on close quarters. It looked like GAROZZO had the control here. Missed, and then Marini took his shot.
And so close. So close to hitting himself, GAROZZO.
And I have to say, the momentum is with Marini right now. What would you say, Bash?
Yeah, I think, I mean, it's certainly not over. I'm not going to write Danny GAROZZO off, but this fight has still got some way to go.
Oh, attack no by GAROZZO. And then the attack from the right. Beautifully placed. Very accurate, isn't he, Marini?
Oh, that's a beauty from Danny GAROZZO, though.
GAROZZO's almost doing the same stuff to Marini that he was doing to GAROZZO.
Yeah,
pressing, direct lunge. Classical.
Yeah, and you say pressing. He actually did a couple of steps then before launching that final explosive lunge attack. And now we've settled into something that's a little bit more even. Oh, amazing.
The riposte missed, and then I think the continuation was good. So he remised. He actually hit it. Look, he missed. So now it's not his turn to hit, but he remised, and because Marini was off balance, he couldn't return fire. He wasn't in a good stance to hit to the shoulder.
So you say he missed. It looked like he hit fresh air there because Marini got out of the way in time, but like you say, he was still off balance.
If you're off balance, you can't then return fire, so you have to sit in that stance.
Target of 15 for the European title. Danny GAROZZO going for his second after winning in 2017 in Tbilisi, Georgia. It was a big day for Georgia here yesterday in the men's sabre with Sandro Bazadze taking the country's first ever male European title, following in from his female compatriot Teodora Pintura. But is it going to be history for GAROZZO? I should have said Kakiani then, Teodora Kakiani, the women's sabre who won in Tbilisi. It was a win for GAROZZO in Tbilisi. Is it going to be a win for him in Turkey?
Oh, beautiful attack. You see how Marini tried to slip the jab there, tried to counter-attack, but GAROZZO was too accurate, controlled the preparation too well, and finished his attack. So low line, 13-8. Now this is...
Counter.
Now, yeah, that was actually GAROZZO's priority, but there's no light for GAROZZO.
Yeah,
you have the right to test the foil with the referee.
Yeah, as long as you don't try and test it yourself first. He missed the target. And Marini does do a bit of body evasion. That's one of the tricks in his bag. Dr. GAROZZO fell for it that time.
Oh, and a counter-attack and a little closure in cart there. So even though Marini had the priority, GAROZZO hit first, he then had to block. And he did so very nicely. Look, just closes him out almost with the forearm.
But here he is, one away from his second European title. Takes the blade, para ripostes. No,
oh,
but what
beautiful.
a finish there. A flick over the shoulder. And of course, Tommaso Marini calls for a video review. This isn't done yet until we get final confirmation. But I see no reason why GAROZZO would not get that. And that's what it means to him. And what a classic hit to finish with. Para riposte given. Mohamed Fajani gives the hit to Danny Garozzo, and he takes his second European title here in 2022 in Antalya. What a win for Daniele Garozzo of Italy. Rich, that last hit, I mean, out the top draw.
Yeah, fantastic. Preem all the way to the back like a scorpion. And that was a very good matchup.
It was a great fight, and he's been off the boil a little bit this season by his very high standards, but Daniele Garozzo is back.
And I've got some more Turkish for you, Bash. What do you think this means? Use Turkish lirası. It means 100 Turkish lira.
I think it might mean 100 Turkish lira.
Thank you very much.
I've got
Called that one.
I've got 250s. You did indeed. I think we better get a photo of that for social media. I know how much you love your social media, but Danny Garozzo, though, loving this moment here in Antalya. He came here for the gold medal. It's his second European title, and he will be up on the podium a little bit.